What's up, everybody, and welcome to this special bonus episode of Team Chat Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jerrett Wilson, joined by Rachel Mogan through the power of the internets.
Too early. How's it going?
It's fine. We're not used to having the delay. Well, we wanted to bring this special bonusode to you because we wanted to talk about all the news and updates that came out March 8th, I believe was the right. We're recording this the day after releasing it the day after that, so we're a little messed up with the dates. But anyway, Thursday, March 8th, there were a bunch of big gaming news. I don't know who woke up and decided that this was going to basically be video game Christmas. Don't they know of a little thing called E3 2018 that's coming up soon? But still, we have lots of big news to share with you that we want to just get some quick reactions from. So the first thing that we're looking at is that we have Activision announced Call of Duty Black Ops 4. So it had been rumored. Actually, I saw a couple days ago, that James Harden, for whatever NBA team he plays for, came out, because I do not know sports ball, but he came out of the locker room wearing a baseball hat with the Black Ops 4 logo on it before there had been any initial, anything about it. So people were like, is Black Ops 4? And then it slowly came out that there was going to be a thing that it might be coming out. And then yesterday or Thursday, they did officially say that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is coming in October. So Treyarch is developing that one. It's the latest in the Black Ops series of Call of Duty.
Boo.
Also in shoot 'em up and some big games like that, we got Tom Clancy's The Division 2 was officially announced by Ubisoft. So the first Division just recently hit its two-year anniversary. And I'd been seeing a lot of stuff come up about the Division, and I've been thinking to myself that I kind of somewhat miss the gameplay of it. Even though there were some things I obviously didn't like about it and got tired of and fell out of love with it very quickly, there was still enough of it that I kind of liked that I'm interested to see what they're going to change with the Division 2. Haven't made up my mind if I'm actually going to do it or not. I was about to say,
everything you just said was very on the fence. The things that I sort of a little maybe liked about it. I'm just shocked that the Division is even getting a sequel. That blows my mind.
Well, it's been doing like I was saying before we start recording, it's actually kind of doing fairly well now. So, they changed enough stuff and made enough updates to it and introduced enough post-release content that it's actually got a pretty steady player base now.
That sounds like hashtag fake news. I'm not gonna lie.
We could get on a whole nother topic of video gaming and fake news, but we'll save that for another time.
Another day.
Okay, and then it also was announced, Epic Games announced that Fortnite Battle Royale is coming to mobile and will have crossplay from on PS4 and PC, at least. Which, and also in all this, I learned that Fortnite can be played on Mac. Had no idea. So
I didn't know that either. Yeah. I guess technically that means we could both be PC gamers.
Seriously, I was kind of like, oh well, here's my shot for streaming greatness. I actually downloaded it today, and I haven't had time to get into it yet, but I'm very curious to see how that game is going to go on mobile.
You know what? I'm going to become a mobile-only Fortnite streamer.
There you go. I'm sure there's going to be a huge market for it, so you'd probably get a great audience.
I'm going to be number one on mobile.
Levitz lives living up there strong at the top of the leaderboard.
I'm going to find a way to jerry rig a keyboard up to my, a mouse and keyboard
I'm not doing anything. I'm using my thumbs. Okay, but the big news, though, of the day, which I know that you'll have a lot of thoughts on, I have a lot of thoughts on, is that Nintendo had another Nintendo Direct, and they dropped some massive news across there. Why don't you fill us in on some of that stuff?
I mean, they really did. So I saw a bunch of memes after the Direct came out that were Nintendo gamers. And it would be everybody sleeping, thinking not anything was going to happen with the Direct. And then Nintendo and a woman aggressively kicking down a door and being sup, bitch. And I was that's so accurate because Nintendo dropped, after a lot of super mundane announcements, some truly earth-shattering revelations on us. So we'll go on ahead and start with the mundane mentions.
Cool.
So they announced actually a ton of stuff for the 3DS titles, some of which is to be expected, some of which is just straight up baffling. So of course they've got a new Wario game coming to the 3DS, just WarioWare Gold. It's got some of the biggest collections of the mini games in the series. It looks like it's going to be a game that's great for kids. It doesn't look like it would hold much else for adult gamers, but it looks like it would be a great distraction for children on long road trips. A game I'm not familiar with even a little, pulse-pounding, post-apocalyptic races and battles can be expected in a game called Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers. I don't know anything about this game.
I don't either.
And when they showed the video footage of it, I don't even understand what's happening. It's apparently like a mix. It's apparently a mix of like what is it? Fortress defenders, like tower defense games.
Okay.
And some other type. It was just baffling to me. I couldn't wrap my brains around it. But some other neat titles are Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story is back for the 3DS. It's also got a bonus game for Bowser Jr. attached to it, so that's great. An extremely confusing game that I don't know what to make heads or tails of is Detective Pikachu. Did you see that?
So I've heard about this game, and I'm very confused because it's already got a movie. It's like they're already going to have a movie, and Ryan Reynolds is going to be Pikachu. I'm so confused about what this is.
Yeah, so like imagine Pikachu, but that like Ryan Reynolds' personality and like Deadpool is voicing him. It's baffling.
I don't understand
I don't understand the game, and I honestly don't even understand the attraction.
Yeah.
When I saw that trailer come out, all I was thinking was, wow, that looks like a waste of gaming space. Now, I could be totally wrong, but it seems like just a total bastardization of what Pikachu is. I'm not on board with it. I have a lot of moral complaints about the game. But so that's happening, I guess. Not that anybody asked for it, but whatever, it's happening. Meanwhile, a game that a lot of people were actually probably really excited to see is getting a much-needed remake. The original Luigi's Mansion is finally making a comeback on the Nintendo 3DS. So for original fans of Luigi's Mansion, it was for the GameCube. That was so long ago. Years. So this is actually a very welcome change. So this is great. Players that have never been able to go back and play Luigi's Mansion, maybe they've only played the newer game, Dark Moon, I believe it is. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Am I wrong about that?
That sounds right, but I'm not 100% sure.
I even own it. That's a shame on me. Whoops. But it's actually one of my love-hate games, so whatever. Anyway, so those are all titles that are coming to the 3DS this year. And then in some, I guess we would call them lower tier Switch headlines, aside from our huge highlights from the day, Kirby Star Allies will be out next week. So when this episode, when this bonusode airs, it will still be next week. So Kirby Star Allies coming out next week. They did make some cool announcements about some interesting new allies you can get that are actually antagonists from the Kirby series. So those would be King Dedede, Meta Knight. Those all look really cool. So it looks like Kirby Star Allies might be... It looks difficult, and I'm not really sure how the gameplay works if you're just one person controlling all four characters. But there is a free demo currently available for the Nintendo Switch. So anybody that's not sure about the game, you can go pick up the demo in the eShop right now and check it out. And then in other news that made me really, really mad.
I knew you were going to be mad about this one.
So mad. Okami HD is freaking coming to the Switch, and I couldn't be more upset.
Because you literally just played it again for the PS4.
Just got it for PS4, and this is such BS. I'm so mad about this. Like the minute I saw it, my just stomach sank, and I was like, "This is bullshit."
Facepalm everywhere.
Owners of the Switch who have never played Okami or who haven't been able to play it on its recent HD update, now you can, and it is Joy-Con enabled, which is what I was saying, that Okami would be such a good match for the Joy-Con's freeform painting style. It's such a good change. If I didn't already own it for PS4, I swear to God, I'd buy it again.
Well, this is how I'll get it for, though.
Yeah, no, you should. You might remember, Team Chat listeners, way back in episode 1, number 1, However, Okami was still among my top 3 games of all time, and it probably still is at least somewhere up there in the top spots. 10 out of 10 would recommend. You can now get it on Xbox, PlayStation 4, and now Switch. In its HD remake, you have no excuse not to play it. It is not a full price game. For God's sake, go play it.
Very nice.
In other news, eat, and throw sushi in Sushi Striker, The Way of Sushido. Another game that's just baffling. It actually used to be a DS title, but now it's coming to Switch. It looks very interesting. Perhaps if you like Overcooked, it seems like it might be the type of game that you might be able to get on board with. But it doesn't appear to be co-op, so I'm not really sure about that.
I did like some Overcooked.
Yeah, you love some I just figured, Jerrett, he loves cooking. He probably likes this game. It's got food.
I do like food. I don't like cooking, really.
Touche. And then for fans of the Bravely Default series, they did have a little bit more light shed onto the upcoming Octopath Traveler. So previously, the working title for this game was simply Project Octopath Traveler. They didn't really make the name of the game any easier, but they did have a couple of more character classes highlighted for the intro video. They've got now a merchant and an apothecary highlighted, and of course we know that there will be 8 jobs in all. They showed a little bit of extra gameplay footage that makes me think it's going to be at least the battle system is going to be very conducive to somebody that's used to Bravely Default's battle system. The way that you can stack jobs is straight out of the Bravely series. So I feel like it's going to be an excellent iteration for anybody that's really into that high tier, very strategic JRPG, jobs, classes, all that stuff. I think it's going to be a good one. I'm really excited about this game, actually.
Very nice.
And of course, it's coming out this summer, so everybody be on the lookout for that. A game that I played because I rented it from Blockbuster 1,000 years ago, No More Heroes, is finally getting its third iteration in Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. Honestly, when I played it for the Wii 1,000 years ago, I was like, this game sucks. But apparently, it has a cult following that I know nothing about. It looks interesting. It appears to be many smaller games within one large game. And I don't really understand how it will work in terms of the story, but it appears as though each mini game within the whole game, which appear to be like arcade-style throwbacks, each lead to their own unique boss at the end, and then presumably these all tie together in some sort of way to make a unified game. That's just pure conjecture. I have nothing to back that up. And then the most heartening and soul-lifting thing that I saw was Dark Souls Remastered for the Switch is in fact getting an amiibo. It is for
is the dude who's like,
yes, it's Praise the Sun, man! Jolly cooperation!
I like it.
I am so excited. So Slayer, an original character from the Dark Souls series, he is the best, most sparkling ray of sunshine in the game. He will have his own amiibo. I am very excited for it.
Very nice.
So a Slayer amiibo will be launching with the Dark Souls Remastered for the Switch when it comes out very soon. This is a game that's coming out this spring. Yeah, so keep your eyes peeled. Another series that's making a very desired comeback is the Captain Toad series. So the Captain Toad Puzzlers made their debut on, I believe, the Wii U, if I'm not mistaken, and now we're getting one for the Switch. So actually for the puzzle-minded player, the Captain Toad games are really fun. Even in, I believe it was Mario Galaxy 2, there were some mini puzzles and like small levels on the side that you could play. Oh no, wait! Was it Super Mario 3D World? That might be what I'm thinking of. It might be Super Mario 3D World that actually had these first Captain Toad side levels, basically, and they're really fun. So actually, if you just are a fan of puzzlers, I would recommend the Captain Toad series. So that looks fascinating. Undertale is finally getting an indie port to the Switch. So Undertale's a very famous indie game. Everybody loves it pretty much. It is coming to the Switch soon. So is, very confusingly, the Crash Bandicoot series.
That surprised me.
That's very surprising. I don't know how they managed that, but it's fascinating. So anyways, the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is also coming to Switch, along with another smaller indie title that we've talked about before, Little Nightmares.
Oh, yeah.
So that's actually a much... I'm really excited about that because Little Nightmares on the Switch will have all of the downloadable content. So, in addition to the original story featuring Six, who is the little girl in the raincoat, you'll have another story featuring, I believe he's just called like the kid or the child, whatever he's actually referred to in game. But it'll feature his story as well. So, that's fascinating. The most confusing one of all that I just don't know why it's coming to Switch at all. South Park, The Fractured But Whole.
I'm so excited to see people playing on this like fun, kid-friendly device of the Switch playing South Park.
I'm just so confused. Like when I saw that, I was like, how are parents around the world not rioting right now? Because it seems like stylistically the least Nintendo friendly game that you could possibly think of.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess if you just really, really wanted to play it on the Switch, you can now. I'm not sure how big that market is, but whatever, Nintendo.
Yep.
And Hyrule Warriors. For those of you that are fans of the slash 'em up type games, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition is also coming to Switch this year. And ARMS fans, they are extending what appears to be an esports invitational for the US and Canada. So if you're into competitive ARMS for the Switch, now's your chance. Get in there.
Boom. All right. Well, now let's circle back around and hit on these highlights. Let's. This is where the big stuff is, the really exciting stuff that we're both super pumped for.
Everybody put your seatbelts on.
So why don't you start then? Let's save the biggest one for the very last. But let's quickly go through these next two, which are the updates to Splatoon 2.
Yeah, so let's start with Splatoon. So they announced a lot of really cool updates for Splatoon 2. They are adding a ton of new gear. So we're talking hundreds of new pieces of gear for Splatoon 2, some of which might be from the older title, Splat 1, and some of which may be new. I'm honestly not quite sure about that. But they are also adding 2 new maps that are from Splat 1. They're both killer. People have been dying for Camp Triggerfish, which is one of my personal favorite maps, and Piranha Pit, my personal least favorite map. So they're both
ends of the spectrum there.
No, that's just a joke. Moray Towers is everybody's least favorite. So Camp Triggerfish and Piranha Pit are both making a comeback on Splatoon 2. Everybody's psyched about that. All this new gear is going to be launching in April. So these updates are right around the corner, along with, and this is the big update for Splat 2. They're adding a whole new paid DLC pack, similar to what they did for Breath of the Wild. It's going to be tagged at $20 USD. A whole new DLC pack for a brand new single-player campaign mode.
Nice.
Featuring, wait for it, Octolings.
Nice.
Oh my God, right? So I am genuinely so excited about this. People have been talking forever, especially since Marina was debuted as one of the new hosts of Splatoon 2. She's an Octoling. Mm-hmm. So the idea that now that we have playable Octolings, that's just really exciting.
Sweet.
The Octolings appear to be adorable. There are both male and female Octolings that you'll be able to play in Splat 2, but in the single-player campaign mode, you appear to only be able to be this one particular pink-haired Octoling girl. She's really cute, along with a return of Captain Cuttlefish. Now, here's the thing. So from the original game and Splat 1 and Splat 2, there's all of these layers of kind of opaque Splatoon lore. And that's the kind of stuff I love. Mm. And it seems like they're going to be really expanding on that with the new single-player campaign for the Octolings. So I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be just a ton of fun. The single player for Splatoon has always been really solid. It's also great in and of itself as a training mode. So if you're not really sure how to use certain weapons or certain items, honestly, the single player is one of the best things you can do for yourself to improve your Splat game. So if you want to be able to buy it, it's available for pre-purchase on the Nintendo eShop now. And then, of course, it comes out just a little bit later this spring. So very exciting stuff for Splatoon players.
All right. Well, then we got next the Mario Tennis Aces Zones. Mario Tennis Aces. The headline is Zones In on High Energy Rallies. So it looks like we got a lot more gameplay footage of that, seeing how all that game's going to come together, all the different things, because it's going to have that single player story too. You're also going to have, boss battles, all that different stuff. So that one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, because I remember playing a little bit of Mario Tennis before. And honestly, this game looks like a whole lot of fun now with all the different characters you can be, characters you'll play against. So that one looks like it could be a lot of it's going to have a lot of fun stuff to it too. But the big news of this Nintendo Direct, what all Switch and Nintendo fans have been clamoring for since the Switch came out,
what I've been saying for a full calendar year.
This prediction is coming true. We are getting Super Smash Bros. For the Switch. Praise be.
Boom.
Praise
the sun,
Praise
brothers.
the sun.
Praise the sun.
So yeah, super stoked about that. I mean, I know it's very early on. We don't know much about what it's going to entail, like maps, characters. I mean, obviously we'll probably have the standard roster, but we don't know much more than that. Although it does look like Inklings will be in it.
It does.
From the reveal trailer.
The reveal trailer was fascinating. So initially, they ended the Nintendo Direct with all of these Splatoon updates. And then, of course, the producers were like, oh, wait, we've got one more little teaser for you. And they snap their fingers and it goes to this additional footage of these two Inklings just having a fun little paint battle on the side. And then the whole screen goes dark. The artistry of it was excellent.
Oh, man.
They did such a good job.
Such a good job.
So goes from white to total black. You can't see the boy Inkling anymore. It's just the girl Inkling. And she slowly turns around and in the reflection of
so
her
good.
eye, the Smash logo comes up and then it zooms out and you just see these intimidating silhouettes of Smash characters of yore.
So good.
Super intimidating Mario, which is hilarious, and what appears to be Breath of the Wild Link.
Mm-hmm.
So here's where a lot of conspiracies abound right now. Some people are out there saying it's just a port. It's just a port of Smash for the Wii U, and there are other people saying, fuck you, it's not a port.
It's not
Smash
a port.
5, motherfuckers.
It's going to be a port.
I don't think
not a port. Sorry.
Yeah.
New game.
No, I agree. I totally agree. I don't think it's going to be a port. And the reasons I believe this are on Nintendo's own website. And Bro Mogan actually brought this up. He says it currently says, and this is true, it says Super Smash Brothers parentheses working title.
Yeah.
If it were a port, they wouldn't say that.
It'd say deluxe.
In addition, each individual Smash kind of comes with its own music. The music for the trailer was different. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you could see very clearly Breath of the Wild Link's outline, people just really think that it's not a port. And I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's not a port. I think it's going to be new Smash. I think Nintendo has finally woken up to the success of the Switch, and they're going all in, which if they're any reputable business, this is the right move.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is what the one game that people have been calling for since the Switch came out. Give us a new Smash. Yeah, and we have a new Smash.
I'm not. So some people said I'm just going to assume it's a port, to guard my feelings. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I understand. You're worried. What if it is just a port and you get your hopes up? But I'm like, no, I'm emotionally invested. I'm going all in on this. So I'm putting all of my chips down. I'm saying it's not a port. This is Smash 5, people.
Hell yeah.
I have no proof. This is all conjecture and conspiracy, but I'm saying, much like with Splatoon, when they announced it for the Switch, I'm saying it's not a port. It's going to be a new title.
Very nice. Well, there we have it. That is all the big news coming out of the Nintendo Direct and all the big news that was dropped yesterday. Let us know in the comments below or send us a message on our Facebook or our Twitter about what you thought about all the recent updates that Nintendo gave out and the release and the announcements of Division 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and Battle Royale going to mobile. So take it on the go, everybody. But with that, I'm one of your hosts. Jerrett Wilson, joined by Rachel Mogan.
Adios.
We'll see you all next time. Stick around for Tuesday for the new episode of Team Chat Podcast, episode 109. We'll see you all then.